That's what I'm very grateful about being in Singapore. That Singapore is really encouraging people doing business. And also the Singapore government, they have made doing business in Singapore as easy as possible. For example, even for Chinese, for my Chinese friends, they are limiting themselves to only people who are Chinese.
Welcome to our channel. Today's guest is Ms. Cynthia, who is a voice coach, not for singing, but for how to make your speech or your verbal expression more impactful.
So I was born and raised in China, and I came to Singapore because of a job 18 years ago. And then I worked for the company for about 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years. After that, I started my own company for training and coaching on voice. So I think for the reason that I was starting my company was because I was with other people, other friends. They are doing training and coaching. And at the time when I saw them doing, I said, oh, this is something that I love, I'm good at, and I can do as well. Yeah. So that's where 15 years ago I started my company and never looked back.
But thinking about 15 years ago, you just came to Singapore about 2-3 years, then you're like, I'm gonna set up a company here in a foreign land.
Yes.
Like, any difficulty or uncertainty you have faced?
Definitely. But for me, I'm someone that when I have a thought, I don't think too much. I just go and do it. Yes. And then I'll be struggling along the way. So that's why when I first came to Singapore, I didn't even know much about Singapore. All I heard about Singapore was that it's a city garden. And then when I started my company or having the thought to start my company, I also wasn't thinking too much. I saw people around me, they are doing training and coaching. It looks like it's working. So I thought, if they can do it, I can do it. Even though before I started, I actually had one client down the pipeline. So I thought, okay, looks like this is something that I can do. And then only when that one training client finished, that's where I realized, oh no, there's no more clients.
I need more.
So I'm always someone that I'll go and do it first. And then I'll figure out along the way. So I wasn't thinking that, oh, there's a lot of challenges, there were a lot of uncertainties. I did think about it actually. Now I thought about it. Because I remember at least half a year before I started my business, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be hard because it's something that I had never done. Before I started, whenever I thought about starting my own business, I actually had some feeling in my stomach. I think it was terror.
Or excitement.
Because when I thought about it, my stomach would sink. And what really gave me the push was I saw a friend who is 2 years younger. He said, I started my own business. So I think he gave me the final push because I was thinking if I don't start, I will probably never do it. So I think despite of the terror, I quit my job without thinking too much.
That's a very bold move, huh? So for the people who are watching here, if you are a foreigner working here, to start your own business in Singapore, is there anything that is in Singapore that had to ease that terror you had in the beginning?
After they do the treatment here, Alhamdulillah, it's very, very light in my body. My name is Eddie. Sometimes people know me, sometimes people don't know me. If my cat inside my shoulder, everybody know me, who I am. I have sickness in my shoulder, quite sometimes. My neck, my rib, and my back. After I know Dr. Jeff and Dr. Jenny and this kakak here, after they do the treatment here, Alhamdulillah, it's very, very light in my body. Just now I want to fold back my hand, very pains. Right now I can fold my hand until here. I can pull until here. This side, I can go everywhere. Release stress, release everything. Great, I can give you 10 to 10. Honest, bottom in my heart, 10 to 10. My body be released a lot of things. It is honest to my heart to tell this. This is not because of review, because of my cat Bumblebee, everybody know because of what. No, I am sick. I keeping my sick. I don't like to go doctor. I don't go to massage my body. I don't like to do anything. This is my first time to do all this. But sometimes I scared to see people do crack. I scared. But after I did this, for our health, for ourselves, need to try. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm very grateful about being in Singapore. That Singapore is really encouraging people doing business. And also the Singapore government, they have made doing business in Singapore as easy as possible. So I set up my own company less than half an hour online. I don't even need to go to any office. But at the same time, a friend of mine in Shanghai, she was also setting up her company. So I said, I used 30 minutes. She said, I used 3 months. Because she needed to go physically into different offices to have different jobs. So I think in Singapore, it is really the government is making it easy for people to do business here.
Okay. Did you have a lot of support from the government in the beginning?
I never knew I could seek for support. I was just setting up my own company and then started to learn online with different teachers how to run a business. So I just went to different events, did different marketing, and that's how I started. But I never thought about there could be any support. I think that's probably also the difference between doing business in Singapore and other countries, where in Singapore there are a lot of ways that you can get support, government support. It was only a few years into the business that's where I realized that people were talking about. They say, there's that support. But when I started, I didn't know. And also I wasn't looking into that.
So as any entrepreneurs, there are always ups and downs, right? What was the darkest times during this journey?
There are many. The other thing that motivated me was because I listened to a motivational speech. In the motivational speech, the speaker said, I had this struggle, I overcame this struggle, and then everything started to become bright. I thought, it sounds easy. And only when I started, I realized, no, it's not just you overcame one thing, then everything is smooth. No. And there are a lot of things that you need to overcome. The darkest probably was the first year. As I was sharing that after that one client, I realized, there was so much that I needed to overcome. I needed to first fill up my pipeline. When I finished the client, after half a year, that was Chinese New Year. I remember that I went back to China for Chinese New Year. At night, I couldn't sleep, because I realized that, I need to make sure that I have consistent clients. And when I looked ahead, Chinese New Year or any New Year is the time you reflect and look ahead. When I looked ahead in bed at night, I realized, there's nothing to look forward to.
It is a very daunting thoughts, right?
I did have money coming in, but not as much as I had expected. And also, I did have 1 year reserve. But you see, half a year is gone. Now you only another half a year reserve. So I was really in panicking mode. And so I was staying with my elder sister. Then she saw that I wasn't able to sleep. So she talked to me. We were talking. I think that was the darkest hours where my sister said, don't worry, that's why. So my two sisters, they support me sometimes blindly.
you go do your thing with support.
Yes. So my sister said, you can always come back and rely on us. We can give financial support if you need. So I think that at least made me feel that I wouldn't go and sleep on the streets one day. So I think somehow, after talking with other friends as well, that seems to be, especially, I'm not sure about men, but for women, we are always afraid that one day we'll sleep on the streets.
There is a time post-COVID, we're also worried about, oh my gosh, is the business going to come back? Is COVID going to be here forever?
So once I realized, I won't be sleeping on the streets. So then I had that kind of fear solved, and also so that I could look forward. not looking at the back. Something is always holding me back. So I think that was the support from my family that helped me to get over the dark stage.
Then, since you've gone through quite a few rounds of ups and downs, certainty,
Yes.
challenges, frustration, lack of security, any tips or thoughts or lessons you learned from those experiences?
Yes, so I'm not sure what kind of journey our audiences are on, at least as an entrepreneur, but this goes the same in life. There's always the up and downs. So for example, as an entrepreneur, yes, so in the past I was here, then I go up, then I come down. But you see the coming down is not going to this down anymore. So you go up, come down, go up, come down. So there's always down, but your down is better than the before. First of all is that you have to know the rule of life. The rule of life is that there is going to be up and downs. So when you're up, you're not going to be up. Yes, oh, but when it comes down, so you have to learn to accept it. There is just that's the cycle of life. So if it's the same for you in your journey, even if it's not entrepreneurial journey, you just know that there is always going to be up and downs. So it's just that how we are going to handle the downs. Like in the past, that I would be panicking and oh my God, it's not working. I'm not cut out for entrepreneur.
I think that's the thought we have every day. Like,
Yes.
I should go back to the corporate 9 to 5. This
Yes.
is not for me.
Yes. So it's just like sailing on the sea. On the sea, it's always up and down, right? And that's the other problem for humans is we will feel boring. So the up and downs, one is to train you to become someone who is stronger, but at the same time, make your life interesting. Yes.
It's very like daring games. Yeah.
See, that's why some people, they go for the roller coaster, right? Yeah. So it's the same for life.
So as a foreigner, be like studying business, you have no contact. You know, unlike in China, you can always leverage family. Family is our primary network, right? So here, there's no family. Friends limited. How do you expand your network then?
So even if I were to be in China, I wouldn't be able to rely on my family for their network. Their network is limited.
But at least there's something. But here it's like zero. It's like maybe 0.5.
Yes. So I think for me, people who I have met in the beginning of my journey in Singapore, now sometimes when I look back, it's like they watch me grow. Friends, clients, they watch me grow. It's like sometimes I feel because I came to Singapore in my late 20s, I wasn't really an adult. I felt that at the time I was not mature. I was like a young girl coming to some place. And then I did some training programs here. And all those classmates from the training programs, they were like my school classmates. See me grow over the years. Some of them, I still have contact with them. So it's really that when they saw me now, they say, oh, you are very different now, how much you have grown. So I feel like I am reliving my life all over again in Singapore. So all my contacts, they are either from my early courses I attended, or from different groups I went to, like for example, Toastmasters.
Oh, yeah.
So even Toastmasters members nowadays, when they saw me, it's like they watched me grow. Thanks to Facebook, they watch me grow. So I feel that it's like I built my own non-blood family here. So that's how I have grown my network. I was involved in Toastmasters. Then when I started my business, I went to different business groups. So that's how I built up my network.
I think right now people are become more self-aware, especially you're in leadership positions. More people want to become more self-aware to make an impact in this life. What can they get out of this Singapore experience?
I think the biggest problem that I have seen is that they are limiting themselves in the circle of friends that they're in. For example, even for Chinese, for my Chinese friends, they are limiting themselves to only people who are Chinese. For expats, sometimes they're also limiting themselves in the expats group. So I think you really need to, come on, you're in Singapore. You go and localize with all kinds of different people, all kinds of different backgrounds. So I have local Singaporean friends, I have expat friends, I have Chinese friends. is don't limit yourself. The most important thing is that you are genuine. As long as you're genuine, you are not there for any group try to get something. Even if you're not there to help, at least you don't go to any group to become harm. As long as you're genuine, you are not harming anyone. People are welcoming you. So make friends with all kinds with different backgrounds. Then you're feeling that you are going into the society.
I think maybe by the time this video is out, you might see our last guest, Yana. She talked about she came here for the first 5 years. She was an expat wife. So, but since she doesn't have kids, so she can't really get into the family, the parents circle. So she's quite limited. So in that sense, like how can they diversify their circles?
So it's always looking for the commonality. For me, I don't have kids either, but I have nephews. So when they talk about their kids, I'm talking about my nephews. And because I'm so close with my sisters, we talk about almost everything. So I'm like a third parent to all my nephews and my only niece as well. So I know their problems, and also a lot of times they don't talk about their problems with their parents, they talk about the problem with me. So even though I'm not a first or second parent, like they're real parents, but I watch my nephews and niece grow. So when they talk about their kids' problems, I have something to talk about. So I think it's always looking for commonality. But of course, at the end of the day, it's still different. You raise the kid firsthand versus a third parent is still different. Then you need to expand your network. So probably you start to explore different interest groups. People who have the same interest. If you like cycling, look for cycling groups. If you like self-improvement, look for self-improvement groups. So there's always a group for you. That's actually the beauty of Singapore, because Singapore is really very open, encouraging a lot of different things happening. You will always be able to find your group.
I think there was quite some month ago, one of our guests, he's also an entrepreneur, but he's from Malaysia.
Yes.
He lived and worked in England for a little while, then he come back and he decided to settle down in Singapore. And then I asked him, UK, more people, more land, more opportunities, like why would you want to choose here? And he said, is it because we're so dense, like everyone is so close? Is it easier to connect to the people you really want to connect with compared to, vast land, everyone distant? Right. Yeah.
Yes.
So I thought that was an interesting perspective, like sometimes we overlook.
Yes, and also, the Chinese word would be 随遇而安, right? Which is that wherever you are put in the place, wherever you ended up at, adapt yourself. Because, for example, in a way, I didn't choose Singapore. Singapore chose me. There was a job opportunity just came from Singapore, so I came to Singapore. And then I started to adapt myself and started to love this place. And to me, Singapore is home. I call Singapore home. So once you are put into a certain place, you adapt yourself. You are not going to ask Singapore to adapt to you. The country will never adapt to you. If you are asking a country to adapt to you, you will never find happiness.
Yeah, exactly. It's always within. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it's a good way. Yeah. Thank you for your time, Cynthia. And Cynthia is a voice coach who help leaders to make a more impact expression through voice, pronunciations, and verbal expressions. Yeah. So if everyone wanted to find out more about what she does, you can check out the link below. Thank you for your time. If you find our video interesting, please subscribe, like, and share, and leave a comment and give your thought about this video. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, and we will see you next time.